After working for more than 10 years as the private assistant of the enigmatic railroad magnate Hadley Strange, the news of his entire family's death in a boating accident comes as quite a shock. Now you have been appointed executor of his will and asked to look after his luxurious manor. After investigations, however, you soon start to realise that not everything is quite what it seems. The Inheritance of Crimson Manor is a first-person puzzle game where you investigate the many rooms of the manor, uncovering clues and solving puzzles and revealing the truth about the disappearance of the strange family. The mansion is quite large. There are 4 floors, with certain rooms and areas being unlocked later in the game. Believe me, you will get lost, even though it seems quite straightforward. There is a map which in the main does a good job of directing you, but it doesn't indicate locked doors, and you will spend a lot of time navigating the manor trying to get to certain rooms. For some reason the sprint button wasn't working on my controller, so this made the task even more laborious. There is a slight danger of motion sickness, as there is a head bobbing motion and the camera is quite loose in its default mode, but this can be changed. The nature of the game means important items like keys to unlock doors or items needed to continue will be situated in different parts of the manor or locked behind puzzles, so there is a lot of moving around. I would suggest that as soon as you see a puzzle in a room, note down what it is and where it is, as this will save you a lot of time later trying to search for it. There is no diary or log of these such events, so it is up to you to remember where you have seen certain things. The hint button can be used to help you in this regard, and to be honest I started using it for directional purposes in the latter half. I was getting a bit tired of moving around looking for the puzzles. When you are in the puzzle, the hint button helps you with solving it, and when out of a puzzle, it acts more like a compass to tell you where you will find the next objective. The puzzles were quite original. In the main they were interesting and tied in well with the surroundings and the story behind the strange family. As per usual, some puzzles needed to be unlocked or revealed by finding keys or certain objects around the house, and then returning to the puzzle. The puzzles themselves tended to be concentrated in one room, with maybe visual clues in the form of letters or paintings. Some had memory elements, like pulling switches in a certain order. Others relied on literature lying around with clues on certain things like safe combinations or puzzle hints. Occasionally, puzzles need your monocular to reveal hidden writings, unseen to the naked eye. The majority were challenging, but logical in nature. If you do get stuck, the hint button helps a lot, but it doesn't keep giving you clues. It will give you one hint, which is usually enough to move on with. There are a couple of guides on Steam if you do get stuck. The story was okay, but it wasn't very original, and there are no characters to meet or any kind of dialogue exchange. The story progresses by finding newspaper clippings, diary entries, telegrams, letters, or by examining objects which elicit a text response. Any items with writing on can be simplified in text, so that is easier to read. I was a little disappointed in the story. The game is predominantly a puzzle game with a reasonably detailed story holding it together. I do prefer to have a story in puzzle games, but don't buy it for the story or you will be disgruntled. There is an impressive amount of searching and object interaction to perform. Most cupboards and drawers can be opened and inspected. Mostly it will be fruitless, but it is worth trying to open and explore everything, as you will be rewarded with information or backstory, and there will be times when you find a key item or puzzle clue. A lot of objects can be picked up, rotated, or even opened. Again, a lot are just red herrings, but there will be times when flipping an object around reveals a relevant number or a hint to a puzzle. The visuals are quite nice, tinged with a gothic undertone. All objects look realistic, and there are even some nice light effects in certain areas. The mansion itself is well designed with Victorian artwork, furniture and belongings adoring each room, which make each room look distinctive. The character is in a first-person view, and I wasn't a huge fan of the head-bobbing motion. There's not much to say about the sound. Everything sounds genuine and how it should. There is a very mellow soundtrack in the background that ebbs and flows whilst you play. I quite enjoyed the Inheritance of Crimson Manor as a puzzle game. The puzzles were interesting and there were a few ideas I haven't seen before. Difficulty levels range from easy to hard, but most were manageable, and there is a hint system which doesn't ruin the puzzle but works well to push you in the right direction. The only disappointing aspect of the game was the atmosphere. I was expecting to encounter other characters and maybe have a few jump scares or frightening moments, but the game was pretty tepid on that front, and apart from the gothic looking environment, it wasn't scary at all. There is an awful amount of travelling around the mansion, and this can get a bit tiresome looking at the same walls and navigating the same areas over and over again. Thankfully, the hint system does alleviate some of the boredom by pointing you in the direction of the next objective. The story is a bit lackluster, but fine for a puzzle game. The whole affair lasts around 9 hours, so a small discount might be recommended. There is a demo if you want to give this game a try. I'll leave a link in the description along with how to subscribe to my Steam curators. As always, if you enjoyed my review, please leave a like and subscribe, and any comments are greatly appreciated. That's all for today. My next review will be for Donut Dodo, a classic old school arcade game very much in the vein of certain classics like Donkey Kong and Popeye. If you don't want to miss that, then please click the notification bell for future reviews. Thanks, and see you soon.